Everyone, and welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. It is good to see you. I'm Laura Papetti. Our big story right now at noon, a preliminary investigation found evidence that the Spokane Regional Health District Administrator may have violated state law when firing Spokane's former top health official. KREM 2 obtained the 52-page report late last night. The findings are the latest development in a months-long saga that began last October. That's when Administrator Amelia Clark announced that she was firing Spokane County Health Officer Dr. Bob Lutz. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is breaking down that report.
Well, this right here is the 52-page report detailing the preliminary investigation into Dr. Bob Lutz's firing. Back in November, the Washington State Board of Health voted unanimously to approve this investigation into Amelia Clark. So here is what they found. The report shows Clark may have violated state law when she fired Lutz in 2020. The investigation was conducted by law firm Ogden Murphy Wallace, and investigators reviewed public statements, press releases, emails, texts, and interviewed several key people. The report concludes by saying these facts support a preliminary finding that Ms. Clark removed Dr. Lutz as the local health officer. Further, since Dr. Lutz was not given notice and an opportunity to be heard before the SRHD board prior to his removal, it also cited a state law which requires notice and a hearing before a health officer is removed. The report says Ms. Clark either refused or neglected to obey or enforce the law. So the report is not a final decision. The board gets to decide what happens next. But as for right now, we'll turn it back over to the studio with more information on how we got to this point.
All right, Brandon, thank you. What happens next is now up to the State Board of Health, which actually Dr. Lutz sits on. However, he was not part of the board's discussions or votes about this matter. So let's take a look at some of those possible outcomes. First, the State Board of Health could decide that Amelia Clark did not violate the law and then just close the matter altogether. They could also ask for more information before beginning a decision or making a decision. Another option, the board could call a hearing to decide whether Clark did in fact violate the law, and then they would decide if she should be removed from her job. The board has the option to take up another resolution. So again, we'll continue to track that. To see the preliminary investigation findings in full, you can read the 52 pages. They are posted right now on KREM.com. You can also text the word report to 509-448-2000 and we'll send a link straight to your phone. So easy to do. 12:03 right now. We're going to head outside, take a live look and see what we have in store in terms of weather over the next few hours, taking a lovely look over the lake. And we're going to join Jeremy Legoo standing by in the Outdoor Weather Center. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello, Laura. It is so nice out here today. Have you been outside recently?
Yes, it is. It was so pleasant that I actually just sort of hung around outside the building for a little bit, just hanging around, loafing.
I did the same thing, and they went,
Yeah.
Hey, are you even working today? I said, no, I am. I'm looking at the sky, I swear.
No, I know. Same thing. They were like, you're doing the show, right? I'm like, I'm coming in. But it's perfect. It's super mild.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and take you outside, let you know what's going on. Right now you can see over in Coeur d'Alene, it is a bit cloudy, and it's a bit cloudy here right now. I think the one spot of blue sky is where the sun is shining through for me, but across the inland northwest, it's clouds and temps on the warm side. We're up to 68 in Spokane, 67 in Coeur d'Alene, 61 up in Sandpoint. How's 75 in Moses Lake sound? A little bit cooler in Wenatchee, and that's thanks to, well, the cloud cover coming up and over the Cascades. Cascades are eating away all of our moisture, so as it moves across the state, most of this isn't reaching the ground, but what we are seeing is that cloud cover really starting to filter in here, and if I look off to the west, it does look like it is going to thicken up here in Spokane. Temperatures, though, on the rise this afternoon. How about this one for you? Low 70s, so we only gain about 5 more degrees today, but right now it feels rather warm out, and 5 more degrees under cloudy skies will still feel warm, but if you want hot, this weekend is when hot arrives, 80s both Saturday and Sunday, and coming up in the full forecast, I'll explain how we get so warm.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeremy. All right, we're going to take a look back now at our top story and continue that line as we look into the investigation into the firing of Dr. Bob Lutz, of course, that began last year. So taking a look again, last October, Spokane Regional Health District Administrator Amelia Clark reportedly met with Dr. Lutz and asked him to resign, citing, quote, performance issues. One day later, the health district says the health board gave Clark approval to fire Lutz. Later, they clarified that the health board had not voted on any decision related to his employment. So then, looking in November, the Spokane Regional Health District formally decided in an 8-4 vote to fire Dr. Lutz. Clark's reasons for requesting Dr. Lutz's termination included that he inappropriately used a Spokane Regional Health District letterhead. She also claimed that Dr. Lutz abused his authority as health officer. She said there are also several bullying and retaliation complaints against him.
I had hoped that Dr. Lutz and I could work together as a team. However, his ongoing patterns of behavior have not changed despite multiple discussions.
All right, so Dr. Lutz's lawyer says the complaints against him are trivial, especially during this pandemic. Dr. Lutz denied making any sexist comments and that Clark's accusations of harassment are misrepresented.
As I provided to HR, I touched her on her arm. There was never any claim made that to me that I, again, massaged her neck or placed my knee behind hers.
After the meeting, several board members expressed concern over the decision. A few days after the firing of Dr. Lutz, the State Board of Health decided to investigate multiple complaints made by citizens against Amelia Clark. All right, so what happens next is up to the State Board of Health, which we've already told you about. Dr. Lutz sits on. However, he did not make any sort of, did not participate in any sort of the decisions in this. So we will certainly continue to follow that story. And again, you can read it all on creme.com, or you can send us a text report and we will send you a link to that so you can read up. All right, it is 12:07 right now. Also happening today, the Food and Drug Administration will review approval of the Pfizer vaccine for teenagers. That's for ages 12 to 15. Now, if approved, Spokane Public Schools is planning to help vaccinate Spokane County teens at several vaccination clinics. The district says the vaccines are voluntary, so kids and their families can decide. SPS Director of Communications says there will be in total 5 vaccine clinics, one at North Central High School, and that'll be just for those students there. The other 4 will be open, however, to the public. Of course, all of this is dependent on state and federal approval. And the free virus vaccinations for SPS students, again, are then between the ages of 16 and 18. In total, they'll be hosting, as we said, those 5 vaccination clinics. We told you about North Central. They'll also be at Lewis and Clark, Ferris, Shadle, Park, and Rogers. And again, as we said, the vaccination clinic at North Central will only be for students there. So if you'd like to sign up for one of those clinics, you can text the word vaccine. That is at 509-448-2000, and we'll send a link right to your phone. All right, still ahead on KREM 2 News at noon. Much more coming up. SPS wants your input on the names of 4 schools in our area. We have the 3 things you need to know before attending that meeting coming up.